Hello and welcome to Chuck's Diecast and Model Reviews. Today we're taking a look at this particular model. This is a 1/18 scale BMW M1. This particular model was made by Norev, and it is actually a very well done model. I'm quite happy with it. The BMW M1 is one of my favorite cars. All the way back to the 80s when I first saw one. There's a fancy resort in my town called the Broadmoor, and I was driving around the Broadmoor one time and I saw one of these M1s actually in white driving around the neighborhood, and I thought it was just the coolest car. And then I'm pretty sure the same guy actually 10 or 15 years later used to use the same mechanic that I have to get the maintenance done on his car. So I got to see this white M1 fairly often. I also actually went to a car auction in Monterey, California, where one of these was on sale in this actual color here. And so I was lucky enough to actually climb inside one and see what it felt like. I felt that I fit in it perfectly well. The seats were comfortable. The dash and everything was pretty simple, and I guess you could say very direct in its use. You know, nothing fancy in there, and kind of what you expect from BMWs from back in that era all the way up to probably the mid 2000s, and they started getting a little cute there on their dashes and in terms of design and things like that. But this particular model I got actually from a seller on eBay, and they also have their own website called Diecast, and they have a really large selection and very high quality collection of models. I've bought a few from them over the last couple of years, since they actually moved, an office to the United States, because back a few years back, shipping from Europe, was pretty pricey, but now it's only like $10 to ship anywhere in the United States. So I've been buying quite a few models from them as a result, but I do recommend them highly. But let's go back and take a look at the model itself here. Okay, you can see, of course, the detail on the car is nice. I like of course, the groovy disc wheels here with the slots in them. Those are really neat. The detail for the door locks and handles as well as the fuel filler is nice and tight. The glass, including the the frames, is delicate and sharp, so definitely no complaints there. Looking at the front here, you can see here that again the detail is pretty good. I've got of course I've seen these close up, and everything on the model looks as it should. You can even see that there are slots underneath there that are nice and sharp. So the headlight or the fog lights there look very good as well, and the turn signals are nice and crisp and shiny, so I like that too. The other cool thing, of course, is that the M1 did have pop-up headlights, and this one's headlights do pop up. You just pull the little lever underneath there, and you can see the headlights. So that's one reason why I bought this car, because if I'm going to have a car with pop-up headlights, I want the pop-up headlights to pop up. So there you go. Looking underneath here, you can see, first of all, that the slots in the hood do go all the way through. So and they do go through to what would be the oil cooler or radiator there, and the detail under the hood does look pretty good. You can see here what's probably maybe a windshield washer reservoir or something, and there's a brake reservoir, and there's some bits and pieces there for the front suspension and so on and so forth. So not bad. Taking a look at the rear here, again, it is nice and sharp. I liked how BMW put two badges in the back here, because probably the putting the badge in the center there, they would have to make a tiny little badge, and they didn't want to do that. The M1 sticker on the back is proper, so that's good to see. The taillights again are very crisp and sharp, and really, really nice actually. So no complaints there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of the model here. It's going to take a little bit here because it's kind of tough to open. Actually, let's go ahead and open both doors so we can get a little light in there. Okay, so let's take a look in here. You can see here that the detail is nicely done there too. The instrument cluster is pretty clear. The shift lever is great. Steering wheel looks really good, so I really, really do like that. Even the center console looks really sharp. So definitely no problems there. The seats, let's see here. Let me go ahead and focus in on these. Look like to be a good representation there too. You can even see the buckle or the seat belt there as well. And although the seat belt is cast in there and is not actually separate there from the rear bulkhead, basically. And you know, as I said, I did get to sit in this car, and it was a comfortable car. The only funky thing about it is actually with a lot of these 70s mid-engine cars, the front wheel well actually sort of intruded into the footwell, so your feet were kind of canted in towards the center of the car. Other than that, I mean, it was actually, like I said, a comfortable car to sit in. Now, of course, as I've mentioned, this is like one of my favorite cars, so I may as well go ahead and show you another model that I have of this. And this will take just a minute here. So I did get this model in 1/12 scale. And I also got this from 5 Diecast, I believe. And this particular model is, I think it's by KK Models. I'm not positive though. This one is purely just for looking at the exterior, because it is a resin model and there are no opening parts. But it is in the color of the car that I first saw, and I think it's a really, really nicely detailed model as well. Again, looking at the rear, you can see the sharpness of the detail back here. So, and I actually should point this out too. You see here these two dark things, and which are just indentations on the orange model, but if you actually see a real one, you'll realize that these are actual holes. And these are not, the only purpose that they serve is to drain rainwater, because you know, of course, if you didn't, water would just collect in here in this lip. And in fact, I have the same thing that happens with my Alfa Romeo that has a lip like this, and it does sort of collect rainwater because there is no actual drain like this. It just drains along the edge of the rear hatch there. So that's kind of the one little bit of detail that's different between the large model and the small model. But again, this is also a really sharp model as well. And I don't have many 1/12 scale models. I just have ones of the cars that I like the most. And so I got this one also. Alright, so that pretty much does it for my review of both of these models. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you like it and sign up for my channel as well. Take care and have a great day.